Can't be showing y'all what I'm doing. I'm just saying it's too early in the morning. See what time is it? Is it 12 yet? Let's see here. 11:54 almost. So it's a pretty good time for me to get on here and talk about our Friendship Friday. And you all, it's interesting how this topic kind of came to me because I try to, stay in my routine for the most part, where I get up and do my daily meditation, take my medicine, or take my little uh, collagen mix, and also my Ensure because some of you are aware, a lot of you aren't. For some reason, I've lost like 11% of my body weight in the last 6 months or something. And anybody that knows me know I'm a little something. So that's definitely an alarm. We're going through some tests and kind of figure out what that's about. Even though there are some medical concerns, I'm already, healed. I have about, 45, 47 more years here on this earth um, before I go to the next realm. So I'm not going to claim that. I am realistic that something's just not quite right. With that being said, you do my little routine or whatever. And I was writing in my journal, which I encourage my participants to do. Usually, it ends up being a journal or an entry of gratefulness. And I encourage you, anybody that's listening, that's a wonderful way to start off your day. You can be having the most, or think you're going to have the most F up day, and you just literally go to a pad and a paper, or you can speak it out loud because there's frequency in our words and our vibration. And when we send out in the universe, it comes back good, bad, and indifferent. So I found that, and studies are showing as well, not just me, that whole metaphysical thing is real. It's a real thing. I think, therefore I am, right? Um, with that, as I was doing my daily meditation in my journal book, I ran across, well, let me go back. This particular journal book that I got, it was on sale, no coincidence. And it has like certain Bible verses in it. And before anybody kind of kicks off and be like, the Bible, there are some good scriptures in the Bible that can be beneficial to our day to day living. And that's important for us to also understand as well. And things that may be a little sketchy, if you have spiritual discernment, then you're able to discern what's good for you and what's not good to you, right? So with this particular journal, it jumped out at me because it was blue. And the first thing that it had on its cover was uh, it says, God is within her, she will not fail. And that's taken out of Psalms, the 46th chapter, the 5th verse. Now, that resonated to me at that time, and it still does, because I knew that that was meant for me. Because God is within me. I'm a little G. You see that picture? That's me right there. That's who we are. So I definitely step up to my royalty. And because that little G is in me, I'm a little goddess, I will not fail. It doesn't matter what is put before me, who is put before me to deter me. I won't fail. I can't fail. According to the word, I can't fail. So every page or every 2 pages, every page, excuse me, has a scripture that's coming from the Bible. And this one for today was, a friend loves at all times. That was taken from Proverbs, the 17th chapter, the 17th verse. And it got me to thinking, you all, about friendship. What is that about? What does that entail? It also had me kind of thinking, you know, how many friends I thought I had, as opposed to how many friends I really do have. And it's not a slight to anyone by me making this particular live. It's simply just what do y'all think about it, right? as anyone want to read in my description, what kind of a friendship is, it's a mutual respect, a mutual understanding, a mutual love of one another, the value that each person has. And a friendship could be, listen, a friendship could be with, and I think I said entity, because a friendship could be with a dog or an animal, right? Um, Anyone or anything that there is a mutual respect, appreciation, and value can become a friendship. But the key word is mutual. And yet, looking back, I realized that I kind of was about 75% of my friends, or my friendship um, connection. It was kind of 75-25. And y'all, keeping it real, I didn't really realize those things doing those friendships because I'm simply being who I am, which is I try to stay in my four agreements. Again, anyone that knows me, they know I'm just not new to this. I'm really true to this. And it really keeps me aligned with the universe and my ancestors, right? So with that being said, I didn't realize that I was in a sense coddling my friends or my so-called friends. I didn't realize that I was indirectly allowing them to take me for granted, right? And some of us don't want to really call it what it is, but it is. Hey, I am my grandmother's Rebecca. Hey, you. Hi, she is beautiful, isn't it? I know. And I got that from, believe it or not, Timu. Yes, I got it from Timu. I'm gonna actually. I'm thinking about putting it on a in a plaque on a like a little canvas thing, but right now it's against my wall. But it reminds me. Hold on for 1 second. I know that's not at my door. Hold on, y'all. Stay right there. Don't go anywhere. Let me put you. I think somebody's at my door. Don't go anywhere. Sorry about that, y'all. It was some kind of like a rim creeper. Grim creep was it the Grim Reaper? It was kind of sound like that coming from a door. And I'm like, we don't have that on my floor. But anyway, getting back to the topic at hand, Friendship Friday. For those who have had friends for 15, 20, 30 years, and it's been a mutual, respectful, loving, uh, worthy type of friendship where the reciprocity doesn't even have to be questioned, I would encourage you to kudos to your friend, and I mean that sincerely. Um, I have a scar on my face from someone who I thought was a friend that allowed me to drink a little too much, something I don't do, and I ended up having an accident that literally could have cost me my life. And I had known this friend for 30, 40 years. So I really thought that we were friends. Well, with this scar on my face, every day that I see it, I'm reminded that she was never a friend. She was never a friend. I was a friend to her. She was never a friend. Looking back in retrospect, there was some, I'm not going to say, well, yeah, jealousy. And for what reason, I honestly don't know because looking at paperwork or whatever, she had everything. And me coming from a broken home, I should have nothing, right? Or I should be jealous of her. The reality of it, y'all, is even though I grew up a little different, I did have more freedom. I had more freedom to be who I am and who I wanted to be. Meaning, I wasn't like a hellion or anything like that. But I know looking back, I didn't even conform to the norms then when I was younger. And for whatever reason, she felt that she needed to. And she didn't live her best life. She, kind of lived a life or chose the decisions that she thought people wanted her to kind of do and or live. And for me, because I really didn't have that type of structure, I didn't have those types of um personal pressures, if you will. that looking back, I believe that she had, or she thought she had, because that's not the case if you knew, the people. But at any rate, a friend, I'm learning, a friend is truly someone who should have your back, love you, love you enough to speak with you on some of the decisions that you make. And having a true friend, they will trust your discernment, trust that you are saying it out of love, that basically you're in your four agreements, that you're speaking to them in truth and love, and to not assume that they're jealous of you, to not take it personal, that they want what you have, and that they want you to do the best that you can at any given moment in time. Friends, Friendship Friday. I have learned during this spiritual nomadic journey that I am my best friend. Something that we take for granted, something that we really don't think about. But if we're not a friend to ourselves, how can we know if we are receiving a healthy friendship or a healthy friend or forming a healthy friendship? We really don't know. So that's what kind of prompted me to come on this Friday. Well, not just that. I'm still trying to get monetized, and I know I need to get all these dang on hours. So why not um, go to my Spherians, my subscribers, because you guys, listen, the last month and a half, it may not sound like a lot to a lot of people because they're used to all the traction and all um, the likes and views and stuff. Truthfully, I'm just kind of getting into this, and I have to say I am so excited with the the support that I've received. That you all are liking the content more. You're actually engaging in conversations among each other along with me. That's so awesome. I'm looking at the more we expand, because I want to say in the last, again, not for a lot of people, but for me, it's awesome. But I want to say I've accumulated, five or six more subscribers in the last maybe 2 or 3 weeks, which for me, I'm thankful, because y'all could be anywhere else looking at any kind of content, and yet you choose to come over here and give your support. Thank you. It's only going to get better. How I'm navigating this thing and how organically we're growing. We're going to do some things off line as well, where I can really get to know you and you guys can really get to know me. Like when I say last year this time, I literally was homeless, and to share with you all how the universe, how my ancestors, how my faith and my belief really has gotten me from homeless to hopeful and housed. I'm in a place where I can look out and a beautiful sky rise. Yes, we have our issues here, just like everybody has issues in different cities. But for the most part, I am so free. I am so safe. I'm so grateful. And I'm my best friend. The universe is my best friend. My ancestors are my best friends. They are with me all the time. And because I know they are with me, not just in my DNA, they literally walk with me. It keeps me grounded. And as long as I can remain grounded, there's nothing or no one that is going to defeat me, right? So, y'all, I just wanted to come on and share how thankful I am. Hopefully you're as thankful and grateful to life as I am, because there are so many things that could have stopped us, prevented us from being where we are right now. To appreciate this fabulous Friday, right? And yet we have another opportunity to build on the positive things that we did yesterday, earlier today, last week, last year. That's how simple gratefulness is. And it kind of puts things in perspective. So, with everything going on in the world, with all the chaos and the confusion and the distractions that are honestly evil, they're coming from a very low vibrational spot, grabbing on, holding on to love, respect, understanding, tolerance, um, word, gratefulness, right? Those are characteristics, those are qualities that can really help us to navigate the different turbulences that we experience every day throughout the day that can distract us from who we were designed to be. And truthfully, we were designed to love and to be loved. That's pretty much it. That's what the spirit knows. It knows to love and to be loved. Anything else is more carnal, and that carnal is based on poor experiences between human beings, broken human beings, right? So I'm very fortunate that even though I grew up with chaos and grew up with certain situations that took place, something that was bigger than me decided to kind of catch me before I really went into an abyss and introduce me to love, authentic love, for me to love myself first, and that was okay for me to love myself first. Because if I can't love myself first, then how in the world can I be able to acknowledge and see and appreciate real authentic love when it comes before me if I'm broken? So I'm thankful that I had that kind of intervention, that spiritual intervention. And I'm also, listen, anybody knows me, I'm not ashamed, even though, my background is in therapy. As an in-home therapist, I love what I do, still love what I do. As an online life coach, love what I do. I also, with different stressors and traumas that have taken place in my life, I'm so grateful that I'm in a place now that I can actually speak with someone as well. Because as far as I'm concerned, and like I tell my therapist, how can I be of service to others when excuse my language, when my shit is fucked up? I'm just being honest, because with my therapist, I sometimes offended just like that, and there's we appreciate the rawness that our uh, working relationship carries, right? Because she respects the fact that I have been in this field for over 20 plus years. She respects even more the fact that I can be that raw about my own challenges. And she's able to kind of put me in check in a respectful way. So I'm not saying anything, crazy, but the authenticity remains true for me, because I don't want to get on here and lie to you or y'all or anybody else. So this is kind of what prompted me again to make this particular live about Friendship Friday, and and to say to those who have that authentic friendship they've had over the years, congratulations. For those who chose to remove themselves from a toxic friendship, congratulations. You deserve it. And that toxic relationship, you loved you and you loved them. Unfortunately, they didn't love you. They loved the thought of you and what you brought to them. And that's where the difference is, right? So, again, just a little tidbit that I thought about today as I was finishing up my journaling. When you have a friend, you won't have to even think about, is it reciprocal? You're gonna already know. When you have a true friend, believe it or not, they'll know when something's not quite right and they'll reach out. When you have a true friend, someone who wants to know you, someone who wants to support you, someone who respects you, someone who doesn't take you for granted, someone who knows that even though y'all may have been friends for years, you still have to nurture that relationship, just like you would water a flower to make sure they continue to thrive, right? Make sure the flower has sun. Sometimes we talk to our flowers. Same thing when it comes to a human being. Same care we should be giving to our friendships if they mean something to us. And those of us who have decided to sever ties, listen, when I tell you, when you sever ties and you cut out the weeds, that leaves more growth, more room for new blooms. And those new blooms will blossom into an ivy. And an ivy is a plant, a shrub, if you will, that's everlasting, right? I think that's why the AKAs chose that particular plant because of the longevity. And we all deserve ivies, if you will, in our friendships, especially if we bring that to the table. I know that I'm that friend. And since I am that friend, I should expect to receive that type of a friend. Hold on for one sec, y'all. Okay, my bad. I didn't know what was going on outside because I didn't want to go out just yet. I have some things I have to do kind of inside. Yo, listen, y'all, I'm working on this little booklet. I'm not even kidding. Not a book, but a booklet. Should be out in the next couple of weeks. I'm real excited about it. I'm definitely gonna drop the link for that. And I have a few of them coming up. But listen, when y'all weren't seeing me and hearing from me, I was working on some content, doing those types of projects along with doing some grassroots work in my community. I don't just talk about it, I walk about it. But there's some things that are, coming kind of full circle that I'm real excited to kind of share with you, but I don't want to get, too ahead of myself. Um, and I want to drop it first and then, you guys tell me what you think. I'm also looking at doing this, having this a member page. I have to figure out how many um, subscribers I need to do it because I have some private content that I've been working on as well, kind of compiling it. So that's a few of you that choose that can kind of get the inside scoop of my journey, that what got me here, and also some of my interests from a photography perspective. I'm not the best, but what jumps out at me, I make sure I capture it, and I want you all to see some of that, some of the inspiration that got me through. Sometimes it was a bee, sometimes it was simply a bee pollinating on a flower that I'd be walking by, and it catches my attention at that given moment in time because I've been meditating on something, right? Because throughout this journey, y'all, I'm trying to tell you, my friend was the universe. I meditated. I talked to the universe like I'm talking to you because I understand the importance of frequency. I understand I have to emit that out to the universe in order for the universe to answer me. You can call it out there if you want to. It's okay. But I can share with you, if you actually Google what I'm saying, you will see there's actually science behind that. It's kind of the concept like if you're not feeling well and you constantly talk about how you're not feeling well. Well, the words are coming out that you don't feel well, so the universe is going to answer that. Versus Listen, I'm good. I'm holistically healed. I'm well. All is well. The universe is hearing all is well. The universe is hearing you're well. So it's going to respond to that frequency because that's what the universe wants to hear from us. Because that's how they work. It works. The energy works, right? Now, if y'all can get that, let me know if you get that. Because if it's too much, let me know. But I'm thinking about doing some a little series on that, like how simple being friends with yourself and loving yourself that it can be. And not only that, it can open the door for you having your heaven on earth. And contrary to what people believe on that, heaven on earth is peace. It's peace on earth. That no matter your circumstances, you have a peace that truly surpasses all understanding. That even though there are circumstances in your face, you know that they are circumstances, that your circumstances don't make you. And therefore you don't act upon it through emotion or react upon it using your emotion. If anything, you know that that is a test of your resilience, a test of your self-discipline, your patience, some of those fruits of the spirit. For some of you who are in the Bible, Galatians, I think the either the fifth verse or excuse me, the fifth chapter or the sixth chapter. It starts at, I think, verse 20, where it talks about the fruits of the fruits of the flesh and the fruits of the spirit. But that's what I'm referring to. We have to send out positive so that we can receive positive. If we send out negative, the universe is going to give us negative, right? And over here, people even say this to me in real life. You got to find something positive out of everything, don't you? And I look at them now like, yes, because why can I not? Why should I not? Why should I be bitter and angry and scorned like you are? I don't say it like that. My answer is just, well, yes. Because if anybody knows my background, then they know that that's kind of what I grew up in. That the grass not always greener type of mindset, right? And I can honestly say I haven't that hasn't been me in over 20 years, even in the midst of whatever is going on. Now, don't get it twisted, y'all. I've had certain times where I'm like, what the hell? This is some bullshit, right? Now allow myself to feel that and to say all that for a good 5 minutes, if that long. Because now I've programmed my brain, because it's mind over matter, that it's like, what? Then my spirit comes in like, And as I'm walking, the spirit kind of hits me like, yo, you're walking. Yo, you're able to think for yourself. Yo, you're able to see the road. Yo, you're able to hear this car. It's just, again, those thankful things. Because by this time now, y'all, I've really programmed my brain to where my spirit kicks in. And it reminds me of all the things that I should be grateful for. And therefore, it minimizes what I feel that I do not have. When you realize you have more than enough on several categories in several areas in your life, you won't have room to be bitter. You won't have room for lack because you will realize how rich you truly are. Waking up on this side of the earth, let's start there. And then for me, I remember one time when I was writing in my journal, because it was one of those uh, Fantastic Fridays. It might have been, I think it might have been, where I even got so into my gratefulness that I was, and I still am, just thankful for being able to have a brain that's working, right? To be able to critically think for myself, to be able to forgive others who act a fool for no reason towards me because they don't even know me, to give grace to myself when sometimes I'm a little in doubt because I'm human, um, to experience disappointment when interact with those who, rather than embrace the love that I give to them and I share to them, they are envious of that because they're broken and they don't know how to receive love. I've been there and done that. When I was broken, I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know how to receive it because I was broken. I was coming from a I'm going to do whatever I can to keep you so I don't lose you mindset because of my separation anxiety or my abandonment issues coming back from my childhood. Right? I just gonna keep it real with y'all. This is what we're gonna have over here in Ones Fear Us. They fear us having a platform like this that we can actually connect from an organic level and rebuild in love from an authentic interconnectedness that we know that we have. Some of us know that we have with each other. So, with that, there were so many levels that I experienced during this transition, and me being friends with myself. It was a work in progress, and sometimes, not often, sometimes I'll hit that like, what the hell? And then again, the spirit's like, what you mean? You are blessed. Everything you think, feel, hear, uh, is authentically you, and that's okay. You own your own fears, you own your own dreams, you own your own abilities. You can disregard that stuff that ain't good for you, or you don't think it's good for you, and you can replace it with something that is good for you. And anybody that, again, has taken any of my sessions or whatever, I'm definitely about Virginia's Satir, um, SATIR. I am okay. There's a poem that's really about self affirmation, and and the poem is basically saying, "Yeah, I got some flaws. Yeah, I got some issues. I got some great ideas though. I got some great dreams though. Sometimes I don't really get it right, but that's okay, because the things that I don't get right, I can replace them with things that I will get right. I am me, and I am okay." I have often said I am imperfectly perfect. And once we embrace that we are imperfectly perfect, then we won't be concerned what other people think about us, how they feel about us, and how they want to mistreat us, right? We won't necessarily want to get um, we won't necessarily want to get revenge and all that craziness because we know the universe will take care of it. But we got to love ourselves first to know what we will settle for, and what we deserve. I can say, because of the lopsided friendships that I've had over my life, that I deserve the friend that I am to others. I deserve it. And now I can say I expect it. And if they don't have that, or they can't give it, or they don't, or whatever, then it's cool. Good luck to you. And don't have no kind of issues about it, y'all. Right? Don't have no kind of issues about it. So I am heading out. I'm going to come back in a little bit. But let me know what you think about your Friendship Friday. Does any of that relate to any of you all that have heard that? That are listening to this live now or later? Have you been in a situation where you thought that you had a mutual friendship with someone, and as it turned out, You really didn't. It was really a lopsided friendship that you have been carrying over 75% of the time. And did you stay in that friendship? If so, why? Did you get out the friendship? If so, how did you do that? We're always wanting to learn from each other over here and through our experiences. And I'm going to tell y'all the truth on mine. I can't say that I officially ended a few of my friendships, right? These friendships that I'm mentioning. What I can say is the universe, and I'm not kidding you, the universe provided certain scenarios where they were removed from my life, from my sphere. And once they were removed, truthfully, I didn't realize how much of a burden those friendships were until I no longer had them. When I no longer missed them or longed for them, and it didn't take as much time as I thought that it would, I realized that I had been mourning MOURNING way before these situations happened. My spirit already knew. My spirit was already letting go, had let go. I had no clue because for me, I was just being who I am. If you need me, I'm there. Not thinking, but you ain't there for me. Because at the time, even in my trials and tribulations, I relied on the creator, my ancestors. So I really didn't necessarily need my quote unquote friends. But what that did was, once again, it made them selfish. It made them entitled because they didn't feel like they had to water my side of the flower. And when I would, the few times that I actually reached out to say, hey, I don't know how this is going to affect me, I need you to reach out. If you ain't heard from me, XYZ, I need for you to reach out. And when that situation happened, where we're talking abuse took place, we're talking racial discrimination took place, we're talking white people lying and falsifying um, and bringing false criminal charges against me, like costing me my livelihood, my career. That was major. And I'm saying I don't know how I'm going to respond to this because part of me wants to really retaliate because I've never really been put in this situation where white people put hands on me and then call the cops and put charges on me. I'm trying really hard not to flip. I'm gonna need you, right? And not one of them, because there's not a lot of them that I'm talking about two or three, because I've always, for the most part, had a small circle. When they didn't reach out, that told me all I needed to know. And who's to say that didn't happen the way it did for me to really see them for who they really were or were not? And when I bring it to their attention, when they turn it back on me, like I should have reached out to them. Really? That said everything that needed to have been said as far as I'm concerned. And I'm not angry. I hope I don't come across as angry now. It's a lesson learned. The universe, with what happened, the universe, in a sense, revealed how shallow and one sided our quote unquote friendships were. And I am thankful. And that's when you know you're doing something right from the spiritual realm. When you've lost everything physically because of white lies, literally, and um, white people utilizing and weaponizing the system. When you're able to look at something like that and be thankful, that's when you know God is working in you and working through you. The universe is working in you and working through you. Because y'all, I'm a Taurus. If that had happened 15, 20 years ago, I can honestly say to you, maybe 25, because I started my spiritual nomadic journey around, I kind of touched into it in, I want to say 2003, something like that. But I really got into it and began to walk in 2006. But saying that to say, prior to anything that was wrong, that was unjust, if you will, my Taurian horns would get out and we would fight it. We sure would. Not like with our hands, but with our mouths. With a Taurus, we don't have to use a curse word, but we can make you feel so bad that you want to unalive yourself, right? I used to be like that. I didn't care necessarily to be kind. It was about being right. If you kept trying to push me into that, I'm gonna let you have it, right? God, the ancestors, my grandparents who crossed over some years ago, they have really worked on me and worked through me, where my tongue is not as fiery as it once was. Usually my tongue now is uplifting. And if I don't have anything nice to say, I don't say anything. That's how my grandmothers also raised me, right? I'm saying all that to say I'm thankful for the experience that I went through and survived and thrived because it led me to where I am right now, coincidentally enough. The roommate that I had then is the same one that linked me up to where I am right now. So it's years later, right? So again, thankful, not complaining at all. Now, this situation you all happened, I think, in 2023. But that situation cost me everything, went bankrupt along with my credentials. And I'm still working on getting those back, for the most part. But even though it was voluntarily dismissed and this, that, and third, because they're really, again, the white people lied on me. And in New York, I mean, in North Carolina, if they go and lie on you first, for the most part, it's who gets to the dang on magistrates first. It's crazy. It is crazy. But it is what it is. I've survived. I'm thriving. I'm alive. I'm living. I'm not bitter. I'm not angry. Because to be honest with you, the universe handled them. I don't know what they did. It's not even my concern. But well, actually, I do. I found out. I found out within 6 months of me actually moving from that area or from that home, the woman that allowed the grandson and his egg donor to file those charges along with her because she was protecting her white grandson, she transitioned within 6 months after me leaving. And I'm going to be real with y'all. When it first happened, I pleaded, I lamented to God, to my ancestor, to touch her heart before it was too late so that she can do the righteous thing. After I got those rejection letters for trying to even Uber or or do Shipt or something, just anything like that, working at a food line, anywhere that I got turned down because of those charges on uh, my record, I was like, you know what? Do whatever. Ancestors, do whatever. God, do whatever. My hands is done because I'm going through it down here because of these these literal white lies. So whatever is meant for them, let it be. And I let it be. And when I left, within 6 months, she also left this world. Now, am I saying I'm responsible? No. I'm saying that the universe, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, especially for those who are like myself, because I know that I am anointed. I know that I have a purpose in this world. I know that I'm a light in this world, salt, if you will, of the earth. I know that I'm that 20% that spreads love, that is love, period. And the universe don't play with those like me. They don't play about me. That's why I don't really retaliate, none of that foolishness anymore. Rarely do I say anything in response. I just look at them and kind of nod, like, you don't know who you're messing with, but you're about to find out. You're about to find out who I am and whose I am. I'm trying to tell you. And so, in a nutshell, learning to be friends with yourself, learning to love yourself, and expect the best for you from others, that's not a bad thing. That's not a selfish thing. And if it is, be selfish. Be selfish. Because if you don't know how to treat you, how will you know how will you know when others are mistreating you? Treat yourself, just, go walk, take a walk with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Go have some lunch or some dinner with yourself. Go watch a movie with yourself. Do some things with yourself. Get to know yourself. Get to love yourself. Love on yourself. Right? Let that be a part of your friendship Friday as well. Being friends with yourself. And when I see this picture, y'all, and I see this beautiful Nubian goddess, how could I not, first of all, see myself, smile, be grateful, be humble, and just want to do the best for my people. But in order for me to do the best for my people, I got to do the best for me, right? And it goes back to being a friend to myself. And I'm learning. And I hope that, when we have these little conversations, that we all can get into a space where we can share with one another, where we don't feel uncomfortable with sharing with one another, that we can grow together, that collectively we can break this matrix that really has us all in a chokehold. We just don't realize it. Being friends with ourselves opens the door for us to be friends with those that look like us, to form a healthy bond collectively. And once we do that collectively and holistically really heal, then we can open up um, that door for a reconciliation of others with us, where there's a mutual respect, uh, there's a mutual value that we have for one another, and we can really rebuild this world the way it was designed to be built, the way it was built before there were some invasions that took place from other species. And that's another topic within itself. Y'all, listen, there's going to be, I just can't, listen, I just came up with some research, y'all, that is going to blow your minds, because it blew my mind, but then it makes sense. It makes so much sense. Quick little snippet, and then I'm gonna get on off. Come back a little later. I am discovering that JESUS is actually IESUS. The IESUS is actually translated to ISIS, ISIS. In Egyptian transcript, it is a set. I am discovering, y'all, that when we say JESUS, in essence, we are saying, or should be saying, ISIS. And the last time I checked, ISIS looked more like this. So when we are saying the JESUS, when we replace it with ISIS, that's how it should have been, and in some transcript it is, but in the King James version, it was uh, rewritten, if you will, to where the Jesus was more male and masculine. It, I listen. You're gonna be like, "What?" I'm gonna bring the stuff, and y'all can look it up yourself. Now, y'all can look it up yourselves. But it made sense why when I would see ISIS, or I would say ISIS, ISIS, or a set, there would be a frequency, a vibration in my spirit that I couldn't really understand, but I knew it felt good. I knew it felt of God. I knew it felt home. Try, y'all. This is why it felt at home, because I am who you should be praying. That didn't come out right. The prototype, like the picture, is actually who we should be giving grace, giving homage to, not a patriarchal white man. Because, and that's another story, but let me just say this: the narrative that we've been given, the false narrative, for us, we have to really think outside the box. If Jesus was hidden because people were after him, right? He couldn't go to like in Egypt, in that area, and blend in. If he was blonde haired, blue eyed, he would stick out, because at that time it really was more Kush. It really was more people that looked like her in that area. So someone blonde haired, blue eyed cannot fit that. He would not fit in. He wouldn't blend in, right? And even going back to the Bible, when you think about the Tigris and Euphrates, or the Mesopotamia, those are rivers that are involved and mentioned in the Bible. And when we realize where they're, the whole Tigris, Euphrates, and where they are is currently Iraq and Iran. Yeah, and those areas over there. They don't look like blonde hair, blue eyed people, y'all. They look more like her. So again, it would make sense that the Jesus look more like her. And the ISIS, Aegis, Aset, are her. Wouldn't that be something if it's finally discovered that Yahshua was actually a woman, a melanated woman named Isis, Aset? That would make sense as to why the woman that looks like her is the most unprotected and most disrespected in the world. And we all know that someone looking like that has been contributed to the creation of the human species. Lucy, for y'all anthropologists, was discovered in Africa. Yeah, I know that was a bit because we were talking about Friendship Friday, but I'm just saying these are things that I'm going to also be bringing to y'all. That is definitely, probably more than likely, going to get me shadow banned even more than I already am. But I care, but I don't care, because when I find something out, I want to share with y'all, and y'all can do your own research and come back to me, and we can start again having more healthy dialogue, respectful dialogue, because I'm always wanting to learn from you all. I just want to learn in general, because for me, when I stop learning, it's like I will stop living. I'll just be existing. That's what this brain is for. That's what my spirit is for, right? It's to learn, to learn from others, so I can be a better human being, a better spirit having a human experience. But yeah, want to drop that on y'all. Let me know if in the comments if y'all have heard about that and whatnot, and we're gonna talk about it. But for right now, enjoy your Friday, your fabulous Friday. Drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all doing for today and the rest of the weekend. I hope it's a beautiful, relaxing, um, self-care type of weekend, and whatever that means for you. I mean, it could be just simply going sitting out on a little stoop and watching the clouds. You know what I'm saying? It could be with some water because I don't want y'all to get dehydrated. It could be watching a movie, reading a book. You know what I'm saying? It could be doing a crossword puzzle. I ain't saying do anything extravagant, or unless you want to. But write down in the comments what you guys are planning on doing for the weekend. I'm gonna head on out, but I'm definitely gonna come back out. I mean, come back in a little later. But thank you all, and again, I hope you all are having a fantastic Friday. And if you have some friends, go on and reach out and tell them how thankful you are that they are your friends. Describe to them what you, in your mind, what friendship is about, and share with them how they fit the mode. Hopefully, you will get the same in return, the reciprocity, the mutual reciprocity. Let me know how that turns out. I'm curious. That's kind of like y'all's assignment for the weekend. Let me know if you reach out to your friends, who you call friends, and when you let them know how much they mean to you, what their responses are. All right, until next time, y'all have a good one.